Good evening. I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Loud and clear. Right on, sir. May God continue to bless you, sir.
And bless you too. And bless you too. So let's move straight to our today's session. We will be looking at the global state of cybercrime. And as part of it, I think today's session will be a recap of your assignment, which was for each and everyone to go through everything that had to do with the global state of cybercrime. You have all the footages that we got from you in line with those that are available on the dark web, and they were for the intention for educational purposes and to equip you for the journey ahead. So each and everyone will have to give me their response on to attest for the assignment. Please take note that it's very important you participate. So I don't know who is the first person to start to share with us what you learned after going through the assignment. And you should also be able to indicate if you are done or how far you have gone with the assignment. Who is going first?
Okay. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. When you want to start, indicate your number, your serial number in the register, in the list, in your register, is it your class register, so that it can be noted too. Thank you. Yeah, you can go ahead. You can just take your name and your serial number in the register and go ahead. In the class register,
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay, my speaking is Jackson David. You're from Akwa Ibom.
Just use your serial number. What's your serial number on your class register list so that any administrator can know that?
Okay, sir, number 14.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I will shortly speak on the first footage that was sent. That was a Russian attack. Russian hacker takes down the power grid. That's the threat, the number one in the threat. Okay, that's what. Okay, what I learned from that footage, that video, is there was a software that was being mentioned. That's an automated malware. This is a malicious software that runs by itself, automatically finding ways to infect systems. So what I learned from that video is that malware. You understand? Then I made some research about that software, and this is a software that has to do with bots. Once our orientation class, the leader that was taking us on that made mention of a bot that can make you to detect or to review a viewer's message. So according to my research, bot is one of the types that malware, automated malware has. So are you getting me?
Go ahead. We are hearing. I don't think it's only me. We are all learning from you. Go ahead. I will comment when you begin.
So automated malware has a lot of different kinds. So one of them is worms, spyware, bot and botnet. And that botnet has to do with DDoS, that's distributed denial of service. So if you check the meaning of DDoS, you'll see that the full meaning of it is a distributed denial of service. We have ransomware, we have fileless malware, and all of that. So the second video has to do with the Russian cyber attack target Ukrainian power grid. And this has to do with, according to Rob Lee, which is a former cybersecurity warfare operation officer in the US, he stated why the Russia attack affected US election is because the US had a weaker electricity security. So that is how it was able to affect the US and other countries, because according to my research, the attack did not only affect the US, it affects other countries in terms of security, food supplies, and all of that. That is how far I have gone, and I'm still on the video. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, serial number 14. I think that was an excellent one from you. intend, from my experience, students like you go find training programs from my experience over time, because you don't just go through what was given to you as a task. You also you went further to do research, which is good. Like they did, like the distributed denial of service attack, which you talked about, DDoS. You will learn more about that, how it is carried out when you're doing your IT fundamentals from next week. You will see how you can launch those, how some of those things are done. I think if it's not in that part, you surely get that in your introduction to cybercrime. But the beauty of it is now you that have done that further research, when things have been mentioned, it will not be a new topic to you. And that is how knowledge sticks when you do research, which is good. I acknowledge that. And then another thing you also mentioned, which is very critical, is the usage of botnets. I can tell you for free that is transforming. Why do you think the other day I was able to recover a one-time view? Somebody sent a one-time view message in your platform, the persons that sent, and I was able to recover it. Why do you think that was possible? It's because my WhatsApp, have incorporated bots in my WhatsApp, so I can give them instruction to do whatever task you think is impossible, and they will do that effectively. Confirm you guys can hear.
So we can hear you.
Can hear you, sir. Right on, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. So, like I was saying, so that is the function of bots. It's just barely about. I think I started discovering how to use bots for positive purposes just about 2 years or 3 years back. But I can tell you that before now, the usage of bots were not known for anything good. They were known for the deployment only when people are using them to carry out malicious attacks, malicious activities. But over time, I have this. For instance, with the bot, I think it's just the time I don't have. But if you have been in some IGTA platforms where I'm there, you will see that there was one of the message in one of your platforms that someone was sending. I wasn't online at that time. All these multiple messages that somebody will just join your session and the person is sending multiple messages at the same time. You would have observed. How many of you guys observed that when it was sent? Please just indicate if you observed that. Let me, before I make the comment. How many of you guys observed that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so let me try to see how I can check that message in your platform and reshare. The sad reality, is it the sad reality or the good reality? Whichever one you see it. The reality is I wasn't even online. I wasn't even there. But I've designed a bot. With the bot I've designed, I've given the bot the instruction that anytime you see such, I can design, whatever I tell it to do, it will do it. So the instruction is any link that anybody drops, or I categorize it if it has to do with Okta, all those their things, they do those their spamming links, all those things, the main links that I know, I identify each of them. So the moment someone joins any of those platforms and is deploying such links, I don't need to be online. Let me show you now how I don't need to be online, even though actually the bot didn't perform optimally. Now I want to tell you what the bot also does. Now, let me share my screen, then you see. Let me share my screen. I've just decided that let me share my screen because maybe some of you were not yet in that platform at that time. And the reason why you all need to know this is because you'll be using it in the future. So the reason why you all need to know this is because you'll be needing it. You don't, even though this is something you encounter after your 6 months training program, I will maybe teach you guys how to deploy some bots at a simple level where I know I can teach you only at the level where you can use it for something positive. I don't know how to teach for the negative sides because that's not part of my role. So, okay, you see, this is the messages the person was sending. I wasn't online. If any of you were online, you would discover that none of these messages dropped in the platform. Now, that is what the bot does. It intercepts the message before it even gets in. By the time you guys are done with your ICT fundamentals, maybe in your second month, maybe by the end of this month or first week of March, I will be able to put you people through the process where you will see how messages are being sent, the process through which they can be intercepted, and you will see how it is possible for your messages to be intercepted along the way. Compromise can be changed. So this is the reality. So now it's not. I wasn't online. So this is the advantage. Some of the advantages of bots or botnets. So over time, now by the design, you see, it gave the person first warning, second warning, and then third warning, and then zero more warning remaining. After the zero warning, it kicked. Now, when it kicks someone out, by that design, it has decided, it has observed that this individual was actually not because if it was something that was a mistake by design, if the person sent it the first time, second time, third time, if it's not something intentional, then of course the person will not continue after getting warnings. But because the person did it over and over, another side of the bot that I use that by design is that when that is sent multiple times, and if it is a WhatsApp forum, because my natural conclusion is if you are passing a right message, which is not malicious, you don't want to scam or steal from people, you will send the link just once or twice. If you send it many times, that means you are trying to, whatever you're selling is illegal. Or let me not use the word illegal. Whatever you're selling is not legitimate, or is not proper, or is not right. I don't want to, I'm trying not to use words that are not right, or because you can't say for sure. But so by my analogy, so by the design, once that bot has that, that is why in IGTA standard, once it receives that, automatically the bot gets into the platform and it deletes the platform, that WhatsApp. If it's a group, it deletes the group, remove everybody from it, removes even their admin. There was a time I did one like that. It got into the platform, override the admin, took over the admin, became the admin, and then started communicating with the students. This is a malicious platform. Malicious links being shared publicly by the owners of this platform has been detected. This is the board representing, kindly exit this platform. It was now giving time countdown from 100, countdown from 90. Then I also went further and I did something. I said, okay, the same way that person was trying to spam the platform, he was sending that multiple link, also regenerate in that same multiplicity. Multiplicity, that means if the person was sending 100, send 100, that number multiplied by the number. That means if it was 100, it would not be 100 times 100. I think in that instance, I didn't, at that stage when I did that one, I didn't override the admins. I really wish I had videos, but this is not just to amaze you, but it's to tell you that the bots can also be used for things that are good, but a lot of activities that are taking place that are being done online, people deal with the usage of bots, or botnets. I won't talk about them now, but I think I'm impressed with what serial number 14 has done. It's good that you don't just go through tasks that are given to you, but when you go through it, you do your own further research. So when you come to class, we say some things, you go and do research. That's how you grow. And that's IGTA for you. The DDoS you're talking about, those are some of the key questions you can find even in the CISSP exam. So when you go for it, they now ask somebody like you, DDoS stands for, it will be an APC, because once you research something, it tends to stick more than when you just hear it or when you just read it. So that's a good one. Let's hear from the second person. Who is coming up next?
Okay, good
Yeah.
evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, my name is Prince Anyaso.
Okay, serial number.
I actually don't know my serial number. I think I'm using a, li- a mobile phone, so that's why I don't even know how
Is
to. If I'm
is your name in the class register for the
yes,
student
yes,
program?
yes, sir.
What's your name on the register
Prince,
number?
okay, Prince Anyaso.
Number what?
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I hold on, please, sir.
Okay, number 7. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. All right, sir. So thank you, sir.
Even though you are not complete done with your registration programs.
Oh,
So let me
Right.
just speak a little bit before you go on. So
Oh.
please, you guys need to take those registration processes very serious, because we are doing it from a point of mentorship. We have oversight with whatever we do, and over time to time, we also like to visit your own, because that's the only way we can know who we're training. Because when you contact with us, we also have a means to follow you up, check what you are doing, and sometimes provide advice. And in most end, ensure that we are not training the wrong persons. So it's also for security purposes. And I don't know why some persons are really reluctant to do it, but the more you decide not to do it, the more you'll be left backward, because by the time enrollments commence, by Saturday, enrollment will commence for the ICT fundamentals, and only those that are formally registered will be done. Even if you get admission in a university, they will tell you, bring so and so documents, bring so and so document, compile this and bring. So someone was asking, why should he have to do it? If you go to an institution and the institution tells you that this is your registration formalities, this is what they need from you, do this, screenshot, compile and drop. And one way we also know students that can become the bad guys tomorrow is they have those type of individuals. They don't take instructions when instruction is given. So please, whatever role is being given to you, you see IGTA looks very common. Maybe when you get yourself into any platform of IGTA, but I can tell you for free, you see IGTA like a plain organization. Till when you will see one little thing, that's when you will know how one little mistake you will make with the organization. That is how you know how the organization takes very little things seriously. I can tell you there are people who have experienced that over the years. Some of them were dismissed in programs. Some of them were even banned from attending any program in IGT. And we, like I told you, are dealing with an organization that works in line with digital transformation. So we can get key information. We can run an information about you. It will affect you in multiple areas or avenues, especially when it has to do with the organization. And take note that you need all these platforms to showcase your expertise and to showcase your knowledge. This is just what I was saying before some of you you are joining. Now, Pedro, kindly mute. If you are in a place like that, which is noisy, how can you even focus in a class? How can you focus in a training program? So, which means you are not in the right frame of mind, or you are not in the right environment for the class. It's better you take a break. It's better you take a break. I'll talk more later.
right. All
Yeah,
right, sir.
serial number 7, you can go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
Okay.
go ahead.
Yeah, I was able to go through the links, though I'm still going through them. But the ones I went through, I was able to learn some things and also to jot down some things, right? So that's I actually made a very much research on the WannaCry, this thing that actually happened. That's WannaCry virus that's infected over, I think, over 150 million computers in in Washington, in the year, I think that was 2015. Yeah, I think 2015. That was when that incident actually happened. So I made a research about a guy who actually did who actually solved the issue, that is solved the issue of the WannaCry virus that actually encrypted a lot of documents and financial records of the citizens, that is US citizens. So I learned about that he actually did this thing. He actually created a virus called a virus that a name is called Chronos, right? And the virus actually allows cyber criminals to steal banking credentials from any infected computers. Though he was arrested. He was arrested on his way to Las Vegas, or rather in Las Vegas, when he attended a one of the biggest hacker conference in Las Vegas. There, so I also did a research again on Equifax data breach. Yeah, that actually happened in the year 2017. That the bad guys actually they were able to compromise the system through sets, that is through social engineering. Yeah, that they actually they were able to send phishing email to the Equifax and Equifax um what's it called, Equifax not customers actually, but Equifax the listing of the workers rather. Let me say, I forgot how to put it, but they actually the bad guys were able to exploit the computers, the Equifax computer, through that phishing technique, or rather through that phishing email. So I think I did another research on on this. I'm coming, sir. I think I did research on. I'm coming. Let me open the email. I did a research on this Ukraine. Yeah, on how Russian were able to to destabilize the power grid in US. How they actually how they manipulated to go into the powerhouse, or into the power grid, where the power grid is mounted, is stationed. How they actually overcome all the security, or how they bypass all the security protocols, and also how there is this tool they use in unlocking doors, and also to use to clone ID cards. I forgot what the tools is called, but they were able to clone the ID card in order to have access to the door. And they did a lot of things, though I'm still going through it, but I had a lot of activities that was really, so this is where I was able to stop. So that's it, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Prince. That was good. I think it's good that you get those things, but take note of those tools like you're mentioning, because that is how you learn, and that is the foundation for this first phase of your training. Remember, the intention is you can't be a surgeon without knowing what an anatomy is.
Yes, sir.
And in another word, you can't be going into a forest to hunt without knowing the type of animals that exist in that forest. So it's good that you also attach research to whatever you learned, from what you learned from it. It's a good one. And I think what I also add is that the reason why also when you do learning like this, you can even make a post on your own platforms. You never can know. Over time, we have had students who have come. Maybe they are. I will not say they can be. You Grace. Let me not use the word grace. Let me use the word chance. Or let me use the word grace or favor. People have different favors in different ways, in different places, and in different platforms. You can just decide one morning, every class we have, you just do a video on it and say, oh, just to keep people aware, be careful in the cyberspace. This is some of the things that I'm learning and I'm going through. Why is it important? somebody might think, oh, why are these people asking me to create this platform, create that platform? Like I told you, it's a process we have passed through. I will shock you that surprisingly, I've had several jobs, but I've never dropped an application anywhere for any job. There is nobody that can say, if I give you my CV is more than 30 pages. Even when I finished from when I did mathematics, when I was done with my mathematics in the university, became a teacher, became a principal of a secondary school, high school. I was, before going back to do petroleum and natural gas engineering, before graduating, working, I have never applied in any place. There is no place that has but because I understand that it is about building capacity. When you, okay, I was just telling someone, I was just sitting yesterday, one of the vice chancellors in one of the federal universities in Nigeria, they sent me an appointment letter requesting me to be part of the staff team. I don't want to talk about too much about that. So why do you think it is this key? It is key because the more you build capacity and you showcase capacity, the tendency, you might think that people are not commenting on your post, people are not engaged, but people know you for what you are communicating. So tomorrow when people have an incident, even at work, that's why you should even share at work. For those of you who are working, no, I just started a new career path. I'm learning about cybersecurity. I'm going through a 6 month. Why is it important? Because tomorrow, if your office needs a cybersecurity professional, they will not go outside. They will not think, oh, they will first of all say, no, we have somebody inside that said she was doing, or he said he was doing cybersecurity. Or maybe your colleagues will see on your status and say, oh, wow, you're into cybersecurity now. Those are things that even your boss at work wants to see. And those are some of the things that sell you out. What sells me out most of the times is because I've been in so much that I do so much that people see so much and people have interacted with me. I don't do all those posting of the things I do anymore, but this is an advice for those of you. I don't know how contented you are with your future or how far you're striving. But over time, I have calls for things from people I don't know. Somebody will just message me and say, oh, where are you currently? Please, there is a job we want you to do for us. Please forward this. Oh, please, can you do us a quotation? Oh, can you send us an invoice? So you don't need, I'm not saying you don't need an application. You need an application later. Me, I knew how to build capacity individual-wise. And that is the advantage that a lot of people have been trained under me, because by virtue of my so much experience in most of our class sessions, it will be an inverse proportionality for mentorship and career guidance for you all. So you must be sellable and you must be equipping yourself maximally. And like I mentioned on Monday, whatever you're doing, job should not even be the focus. Money should not even be the focus, what you want to pick out of whatever you do here. Let your focus be acquiring the knowledge. So like I mentioned, you don't know, you might be somebody who will be lucky, and in your own circle, you might just make a post of something you learn in class and you make it online. And before you notice, somebody will contact you and say, oh, please, we need an expert who understands what you're just telling us. And the beauty about IGTA is we are always willing and ready to attend to students whenever they have challenges outside our organization. So whatever you might go out, you have a challenge and you can't solve it, you can come to me or any other and say, oh, please, sir, this is a challenge I'm facing. No, I don't know how to handle it. And if it's within my reach or within any of the team's reach, we can support you and say, oh, no, do it like this, do it like that, do it like, and that is how you grow. You think you will learn from not facing challenges? You will go through the training, but you will only learn the process. You become an expert only when you encounter those challenges by yourself. And the challenges are always versatile. That is why I tell you that the industry for cybersecurity is dynamic. Whatever you're seeing today, the threats you're seeing, the types of attacks you're seeing today, they are no longer the same type of attacks by the end of today, maybe I think I can just show you guys something still, just to help. That is the difference between people who go through training in IGTA, because by the time you're done, I can tell you that I can pick somebody who has been in training in IGTA for 1 month. He'll be better than somebody who has a BSc. That is why none of our students go for the CISSP exams and they fail. None has ever gone there and failed. None. None for the global certification. I mean none. If you are done with your training after the 6 months and you go and you feel that is, those things are just benefits, but they are all part of this program, which you are not paying for. But the beauty is we need to embrace this. So you see somebody joining class and the person is joining class from an environment that is not even educationally environmentally educational. So how do you even focus? And take note, from our next class, you can only join classes with your name that is on the register. I see somebody, Zoom user, Samantha, Latunde. We don't entertain such names. Galadima, it's not an individual. See my name that I'm joining. All my 3 names, G, Christian, Ayafo. Go and those are my names because I'm not a criminal. I'm not hiding anything. And it's the same way we expect students who are coming into IGTA to be. You must be legitimately you and originally you. In anytime you're inside IGTA, you can become somebody else outside. But when you are within us, please try to use the names that are on the register. Because the next class, if you're joining with an account that is not your name, if you don't know how to change the name in your account to your official names, please kindly indicate. The administrators or reach out to any of the administrators in your class. Ask them, they will help you do that. So I think that's it. Let's go. Who is coming up next?
Good evening, sir. My name is
Kolade.
Okay,
Number 11 on the list.
Okay, let's listen to the lady. Then after that, we'll hear from Engineer Isaac Alade. The lady that came up. Esther.
Okay. Good evening, sir. My name is Abdul Esther. I'm serial number 20. So I'll be talking on the red team attack on the power grid. So the different method of attack the red team use to infiltrate the power grid was number 1, surveillance. They had to survey the environment which they were going to attack. Then number 2, they tried social engineering, getting familiar with the workers. And from the video, I learned that, and other research, I learned that social engineering is one of the weakest spots in cybersecurity. People are like weak spots. And it is also called human hacking. So they infiltrated the offices, tried to get their ways and understand what system is being, security system is being used inside, their surveillance and their CCTV camera system and co. Then they did not go, they waited when everywhere was closed. And they stayed there. They returned back in the evening. I think midnight. Sorry, my background is quite noisy. So they returned back and tried again to infiltrate the system. They planted malwares, copied the ID card, and planted malwares and also computers and the power grid system. After that, they came the next day. The next day was to launch the attack. While doing that, they had to survey the environment again to avoid motion detector system, CCTV camera, and other system. And finally, the attack was launched. I'm just trying to summarize. And this taught me that sometimes cybersecurity and hacking might not be done at home with your laptop. Sometimes you have to go there, do the social engineering and all that. And also, on the cyber data theft that happened with, I think the Chinese attacked US data. Sensitive information of about 1.9 million Americans were stolen. And informations of also their friends or next of kin or family attached to those people's information were also breached. And this information were used in data theft, using fraud, using identity theft. And this information was also used to review weak points of citizens, and also recruit spies. This attack was carried out by allegedly carried out by the Chinese people. So this is all I have to say for now. Thank you.
Excellent, Esther. That was an excellent one from you. It's good that you also mentioned that you did further research, not just going through the tasks, then completing the tasks, and then doing further research, which is beautiful. And even if we're in the training now, that can become your foundation when you start researching, okay, how do I solve such a problem? How do I prevent such a problem? And I think don't just go through these tasks. When you go through them, let them become your focal points, areas where you look at that in future, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to achieve, this is what I intend doing with this. I think it will go a long way to empower you. So I think Dr. Engineer Isaac was the person that was about speaking next. Let's hear from him.
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Engineer Isaac.
Yeah, I'm coming from the side of the social engineering when
okay.
the
serial number.
11 on the list, sorry.
Okay,
11 on the list. Yeah. I was coming from the area of the social engineering where the small electric company in the US.
So yeah, before you continue, let me also just add something. Now you heard me asking serial number, right? Because it's also another way to secure the identity of my students. For instance, somebody can know your full names and say, you're doing a cybersecurity training, and that person can create a fake ID with you knowing. But if the person knows a serial number this, the person cannot identify you with you. So that's the beauty of it. So that's how little things too like this can also help. So this can also be an advice for those of you who are working with in security agencies or security units or in organizations that you need to secure your staffs. You can we rather, instead of calling our staffs by name, we call them by serial number or an identity number, whereby anybody can just go, who is official in the institution, can go on the serial number. This means this person. So without you mentioning your name, I can just go on the list. I know who you are. So I think those are things you can also propose in your institutions and say, this can go a long way to safeguard our staffs. Or maybe when you are going out to work in the field, you can say, why not we call ourselves by a serial number instead of, so that if there is any need for compromise, especially in security risk zones. So you can go ahead, Engineer Isaac.
Yeah, thank you, sir. The social engineering aspect of the operation of the red team security there, it gave me a flashback of something that happened to me when I was still younger in my activity. I had to work at the front office. Now I'm a manager in the company. I had to work at the front office. And I noticed a particular customer. I was lucky to meet him twice. The first time he came, he needed to do a business with us, and he said his phone is down. He needed to charge the phone. I needed to plug the phone to a laptop. Being an engineer, it was a flag. You should have asked for a charger, not to plug to a laptop. So I tried to prevent that from happening. I said we don't allow anybody to connect to our laptops from here. Luckily for me, about a week after, the same person came back again. I was trying to do the same thing on another staff. I quickly came in and I said, sir, I told you we don't allow people to connect. The staff was about to allow him to connect his phone to that laptop. So when I look at that thing, that's some small thing that we do that open door in our social engineering, when they're applying their social engineering, that we do not even know how far it can go. I never knew what the guy wanted to do. The moment after the second attempt, I alerted our IT department, and they sent official email to everybody, never to allow anybody to connect, and it is still in the company till date. I'd rather do some things that we can be just careless, and we don't even know how far it can go. Then also, from here, I can see the inevitability, how importance of cybersecurity, unless you don't want to grow. In the US, they have smaller grids, they have bigger grids. Smaller grids that are not on the internet, they are a bit more secure because some of them are not on the internet. Now, this small company brought in red team security to test their system because they cannot afford not to go on the internet. The same thing, many of us in our business, unless you don't want to grow big, if you want to grow big, you must go on the internet. That means we cannot do without cybersecurity knowledge. Now, as a manager, with the knowledge I'm having now, I'm seeing wider, I'm getting more and more prepared to even put my company in a better position. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Engineer Lade. That's a good one. At least you blend yours with a practical example, which is also educative for each and every one of us on the call. And that's one of the best practice in cybersecurity, ensuring that staffs are adequately informed and adequately equipped to know when to resist. And that's why you see in IGTA, even though when students register, part of the information they like on the website, we have an email dashboard. We can choose on one click and we send messages to all our students and they'll receive it. But we discovered as an organization, because of the large size of the organization, IGT has over 100,000 students now globally on the dashboard. And what that means is the organization needs to be very careful. And I think you guys have also seen in some of the platforms where people call them claiming to be IGTA staffs, they are calling them to inform them of blah, blah, blah. So those are the criminal elements. And why we choose not to call students, and why we also choose as an organization, as one of our standards and policies, not to send emails to students, is because if students if our students know that IGT as an organization will never just sit and send me an email, will just sit and call me. So if somebody calls you tomorrow, so that's one form of awareness. If somebody wakes up tomorrow and call you and say, "Oh, I'm from IGTA," you tell him, "I don't think you're from IGTA," because you know the standard of IGTA does not operate in that order. So I think those are positive ways we are learning. And I applaud that. So thank you for that additional insights. I'm sure that was from serial number 11, if I'm not, or if I'm not.
Yes, 11. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I appreciate that very much. Let's hear from someone else.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good evening. From where?
Yeah, good evening. Oh, sorry, good evening, sir. My name is Emmanuel, serial number 6.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so thank you so much for the opportunity. I actually went through those videos and I saw that most of the time when things like this happens, the hackers is actually looking for loopholes in the system. So when you talked about the messages that actually come in this evening, I was on my system and I'm just seeing the notification that somebody's actually dropping message, and I was like, "Oh, what's really going on?" And when I checked the group, I didn't see the message. So the message just pop up, the WhatsApp notification. If you are using WhatsApp on the system, you notice that the pop up, you get a notification. And when I opened the group, I didn't see the message. I was like, "Oh, maybe they've deleted the message." So I noticed that something's actually going on the group. So, but going through those videos, I understand that most of the time, especially for the grid that actually happened in Ukraine. So the US interview, the guy they interviewed in the US actually mentioned that some of those elements that was found in the Ukraine system was also found on the US system. Because according to him, he explained that it was through an attachment that was sent to a staff that downloaded that attachment, and they get access to their system. At the end of the day, they carried out the attack. So that's actually, teach me a lot of things, mentioning that, make sure that if you received an email and it contains an attachment, maybe from someone you are not expecting the email from. So it shows that you need to be very, very careful, because most of us are actually working in an organization. So when you receive an email from someone, you have to be very careful and confirm if truly you are expecting that. And also, the pre-attack that actually happened with the red team concerning the grid. So they mentioned that most of those doors were opened even when those staffs left the organization. So that is a loophole. Most of office staffs, like the staffs, they don't actually take care of security. And one thing actually struck my mind, that security is everybody's concerns. So the security, the little things we overlook might actually be the loophole for hackers, or for somebody to actually take the security of the entire organization. So that actually teach me that, whenever you are going out, you need to lock the door. You need to ensure that there's no additional devices, like one of the student mentioned that somebody wanted to plug something into the system. I've worked in an organization, a bank, where we find out that they just plug something, USB device, to a system, and all the password of everybody that have logged in to that system was, gotten from just plugging a USB into that system. So that actually shows that if you are working with your system, no way you should allow anybody to plug anything into your system. And also, you should educate people around you, because the security is not only for you. If you look at the attack that actually happened in US, where the social security number of people that happened, so it is not, the hacker took the social security number of those people that they have their customer, and people that registered under them as a friend. So they maybe they have the next of king, the name, and the email address, and something like that. So we should be careful on every site we go. Before you fill a survey, you should ensure that this site, is it genuine. We should make research about it before filling out your information, like the email address, your date of birth, and some other thing. And lastly, I noticed that these things is actually no common in most of the developed country. I was just wondering if the developed country can actually prepare for something like this. I'm just wondering what we in Nigerian system, because I think we don't really have a data system that we can actually use in Nigeria. So I think this actually calls for us to actually reflect and ensure that we, secure ourselves first. Then we educate people around us, not just only us alone. Educate people like our family members and our friends, because the security, if they are safe, we are also safe. If they are not safe, it might actually come back to us, because through them they might get information about us. That's just what I want to say, sir.
Yeah, thank you. It's I think that was also a good one from you. Let's hear from someone else what the person learned from while going through the various footages. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Kindly state your serial number.
Hello,
and go
sir.
ahead. Yeah, state your serial number and go ahead.
I don't know my serial number, but
Then
I'm Enrico.
you are not a student now. You are not supposed to be here.
I am.
Yeah, can somebody else talk? What is the name, please?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
I don't Hello, sir.
Great. Go on.
Hello,
You
good evening,
cannot.
sir.
Good evening. Administrators, please kindly remove that person who say doesn't know his serial number. Yeah, go ahead. The next person, go ahead.
Good evening, sir. I'm serial number 9.
Okay, go ahead.
what I learned, some of the things you made mention of that look like it's not possible. Are you not sure this man is trying to overplug things? But there's a particular video I watched when someone phone, they were trying to explain how they will, hack into someone's phone, the camera, the the speaker, and what have you will be, kind of turned around against you for what you paid for. In your mind, you feel you are just free, nothing is happening, you have a secured password, your phone is secure. You don't know that you are actually open. There's alien surveillance working around you that you don't even know. It is from your teachings now and some of the things you ask us to go and see that I now saw that cybersecurity is more than what I actually was thinking. From everything from you said from our phone, they can use our camera against us. I saw everything. So I really appreciate coming into this platform. I appreciate, knowing, mingling with IGTA. Thank you, sir. That's all I have for now.
Okay, that's fine. What's the serial number? I don't, let me be sure.
Serial number 9.
Okay, that's fine. I think it's good that at least you had your own knowledge to also share, which is well taken. Yeah, and I really want to hear more of what you people learn so that I can learn from you people and we all can learn from each other, which I'm happy that all of you have been educative since from the beginning. So who is coming up next?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Go ahead.
Serial number 21.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I want to pick from where the last person talked about. That is under notable act. So the man that was interviewed was Edward Snowden. And one thing is, he said something that, in fact, when he said it, then I looked at my phone, that is my phone still useful to me? He said that this is not about who actually owns the phone or buys the phone, that it is the hacker that actually owns the phone. And the most terrifying thing is that you would not know if a person has been hacked. The interviewer asked him that if someone hacked your phone, can you know? He said you wouldn't know. And he also talked about a couple that went about shooting in a particular environment, and the US government caught those couple, and the Apple phone that was with the couple, they tried to gain access from Apple owners for them to unlock it, and Apple said they can't unlock it. And before, the US government used to say that they don't have access to anybody's phone, they don't have access. But to the surprise of people, they actually unlocked those people's Apple's phone. And that means that unknowingly to
Hey,
people,
brother, how now? You're back.
unknowingly to
How was
people,
work?
that means US government has
In
access.
the morning, please. Hello.
to-
You do not help me to water these flowers now. Okay, thank you.
Am I
In the
still?
morning,
Am I
please see
still?
me before you go to work, please. Yeah, you can go ahead. Sorry, I
Okay, so
didn't know my mic was on.
the guy Edward Snowden now told the interviewer that the US government have access to people's appliances without authorization. And that means the example of the Apple device that they break into is an open here so that people will know that they actually have access. And actually, they have something that they call IMSI catchers, that they said is a joint operation that is being used as a war front. But at the end of the day, investigation now shows that IMSI catchers is being used in American soil to also investigate on Americans. So another one that caught my attention was the power grid in Ukraine crisis. That is when Russia attacked Ukraine's power grid. And the second time they did that, they used a piece of automated malware, which is called crash override in 2016 to take down the power grid in their capital city. And what caught the attention of the Americans was that the crash override software has a modular component that can be swapped to be adaptive to other equipment that is in other parts of the world, like in Europe or America. And one of the reasons they did that is also by, let me say, not educating the staffs of some particular organization or power companies. So the attackers send emails with infected attachments, stealing login credentials, and using that to take control of the grid. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, senior number 21. That was an impressive one. If the type of knowledge, who is this Zoom user? Who is the person with Zoom?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, is it your background that is noisy like that?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, is it your background is noisy? I just wanted to know it was somebody that was part of us.
I don't think it's mine.
Okay, so who is the Zoom user? Please, administrators, kindly remove that person. So let me just comment before some of the things you said. If just listening to you guys, I feel like I'm a student. To be honest, I appreciate the fact that you guys, those of you, because in every basket of egg, there always be a bad egg and there always be a spoiled egg. So, but to those of you who actually took both the classwork and the assignments seriously, I really appreciate that, because just listening from the few of you talk, I can tell you that the knowledge is so much, which is good, and I hope we keep on with the same spirit. So that, like the issue you mentioned about what the Russia-Ukraine power grid attack, how it was carried out. There are more sophisticated cyber attacks that are even being deployed. Are you guys aware that what America did in Venezuela was not just only an attack? Please kindly mute. What America did in Venezuela was not just only an attack of military personnel or forces. It's an attack that the cyber attack was used at the forefront before military came in. Now please kindly mute if you don't want to be removed. So there are already facts that have already been analyzed to the attack. But I also like to be mentoring my students properly. The world is changing. I'm a certified peace building and conflict facilitator. In short, I'm undergoing training to become an international mediator. I'm on my 6th year of training now. So in the next 1 year, 2 years time, I'll become an international mediator, because 7 years program. What I can tell you is, even though there is that statement that there is freedom of speech, I always like mentoring my students that be careful. There is freedom of speech for sure, but sometimes freedom after speech is not guaranteed. If you want to doubt why I'm telling you this, go and ask yourself, why is there international diplomacy, whereby somebody who can commit a highest heinous crime can be set free because of a nation it comes from, or because of a plea bargain, or because of one. So the world is not what we think it is. If you have ever read the book called Animal Farm, take that book as a blessing. and go back and reread. If you had read it, unread and reread. If you are still reading it, go back and reread it, because it will design your life not just to fit the society, but to stand tall in the society. Take note that our world today is not the world. There are some names you don't mention anyhow. There are some countries you don't mention anyhow, which is why intentionally the video is available on the dark web showing how all of that was done. But because of the type of nation that is involved, I didn't want to include it, because I don't want to put any of my students in a vulnerable stage. Because we should just be careful. Don't mind what people say. Some people say what they say, but it's good to say what you believe in. But I think it's not my responsibility to teach people what to believe in. Everyone has their belief system, but it's my responsibility to ensure that you all are properly guided. But our world is changing, and is to tell you that cyber crimes, cyber attacks, let me use this word, cyber attacks are becoming more sophisticated. In the next 10 decades, in the next 1 decade from now, you come to discover that okay, one of you mentioned something that I wanted to add to it. He said Africa we do not keep data. I think the problem with Africa is not the aspect of lack of data, but it's the aspect of taking responsibilities, which is why students like you must take responsibilities. It's not just acquiring data, it's being amongst those who are taking key decisions in the industry, meaning designing security architectures, designing cyber bots, designing cyber warfare, whatever you think for nations. Whatever nations think within African continents that can strengthen their bargains, that can become a market. I will tell you for free that America will get richer every day. I told somebody that, do you know why Africa remains poor? Because the assets that are most expensive and valuable in the market, we don't have any. Take, for instance, if America comes and drop a bomb in your country, you have to pay for it. Those goes into millions of dollars. That can be billions of naira or billions of francs or millions of Ghana cedis or any currency you can mention. And these individuals are now AI that the world is using doesn't come from Africa. Those championing AI are from China and US and Russia. And these countries are making billions by the usage of people of Africa, because we will go to their continents and buy gadgets that are being used into those things. We will go through the platforms and we will use those tools. And the more we use them, the more we are vulnerable, because those becomes weak points. That is when you see that video where they tell you about the usage of your phone and you not having access to it. The truth is, whatever you enter in this internet space, okay, I will do something by the end of this and then just show you people something. The truth is, our world is becoming more vulnerable. I'm just saying this because of the student who made it, so that you can get a guide. If you feel you want to contribute to Africa, it's not that Africa doesn't need data. We need to look at, okay, every country is trying to build their own AI software or AI tool. Maybe you can start with Africa to build one. Because if the world builds and we don't build, you become a consumer. You become a buyer, not a seller. It's the seller that makes money. It is the producer that makes money, not the consumer. So that is why I can tell you for free that Africa will remain the way it is even in the next 100 decades. It's not about leadership. If let's say you have a home of siblings, a father is a king and he has 20 children. And amongst those 20 children, one of them is much more, no matter how hardworking you are as a son, if you are more hardworking than the rest of the children, but you don't have, is that the right example for me to use? And you don't have anything, that's not a good example for me to use. Let me just use the example as it is, so that I don't get it complicated. The reason why it will be difficult for Africa to grow beyond what it is because we are not producing anything. The things that are more expensive, we will keep buying. So whether you have the right president or not, if the right president comes in place and the country needs a security architecture to function, and the security apparatus, both technological or weaponry or any or otherwise, and you don't have the access to producing them. You have to go outside to buy it. Then you have a nation that is giving its mineral resources just to get weapons. Go and ask some of your nations how much they spend for some of the weapons they use, which are not even the best weapons. No African nation have the sophisticated weapons. No Africa has or have 5% of the type of weapons, for example, ordinary Israel has. But what does this tell you? This tells you that till the world comes to our end, unless we see things deeper, it is not a political class, but because of the student, that's why I'm just, so that you have a broader view while you're seeing things. So if you can take an aspect as part of your training, where maybe you can look at it, like maybe you can, we have cybersecurity, one of the core career paths in cybersecurity is cybersecurity engineering. Those are those who go into design complex tools or software that can be used for cyber attack, or cyber protection, or cyber warfare, or whatever form you want to use it for. So this is more of a journey than a destination. That is why I said your training cannot end in 6 months. It's going to be a continuous process. But every time we interact, there will always be something you'll be learning. You don't need to want to force the knowledge, but you just need to be willing to consume whatever knowledge is being given. So over time, you will come to realize that you will build more capacity. Like I told you, the world is changing. So if you are not changing, the world will leave you behind. So I think let's hear from someone else. So
Good evening,
you
sir.
guys should just have to, okay, just a moment. And I also did I don't know which of you follow news more, but me, I'm more of I don't watch movies. I watch most of the times I watch news. So it also gives me a upper edge in most sectors. How many of you watched recently what happened in Iran? Are you aware that Starlink works with a satellite? And are you also aware that anything that deals with the satellite has no restriction to any country? But are you aware that recently Iran was able to design a cyber software that was able to block Starlink 100%? How many of you people are aware? I'm telling you this year, just this January, about a week or 2 weeks ago. How many of you are aware?
I am.
Yes, good. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it occurred recently. So, and
I have.
that is just that single act that Iran, no country in the world has ever been able to achieve that. It still remains a mystery to the world. Currently, as I speak to you, it still remains a mystery because Starlink it's when you bring in Starlink into any nation, there is no way you can be restricted from any internet connection. Whether they shut down mention whatever they want to shut down, you will have access to connection because it works directly with the satellite. But Iran was able to design a software tool that was able to turn down all Starlink connections. If you had a Starlink, if you needed to use it, you had to go outside Iran territorial boundary before you could use it. And that is why you can see, I will not talk about the political aspect because that is why you see now America is scared to go into Iran because that has now shielded them. So this is to tell you that a lot is changing. It's not just about individuals. Somebody would think, oh, cyber security is just to prevent individuals, protect organizations, protect companies. But it is currently at the global space, it is a key supplement. That is why organizations now are coming up that are looking for individuals who are willing to key into cybersecurity. So I just hope some of you will find, because it's not me that will find a place for you, but some of you will find a place for yourself in the cybersecurity space whereby you become kingmakers. The truth is, when you don't know where you're heading, you'll be lost. You'll be lost. But when you know what you're heading, that is why you need this foundation for your training. So that over time, you now choose the path you really want to be. Do I want to be at the local? Do I want to be at this sector? Do I want to be at that sector? And you start harnessing yourself towards that sector. Because it's only time that can be. Most of our trainings will always be generalized. It may be only after the 6 months that some of you that can choose career paths, we can, like me, that those that choose special career paths, sometimes I create times to mentor them and say, okay, this is what you can do. Okay, do this like that, do this like that to go. But in most of what we do is for general. So it's over time that, so if you have to specialize, you have to start that now, so that whatever we're doing, when we go to cybersecurity management, you are now looking, how does this relate to what I'm doing? Sometimes when you specialize at the beginning, you can get to the middle and say, no. The way I was thinking, I'll become a forensic expert, cyber forensic expert. I'm not really good with this skill. Oh, I don't love it anymore. Oh, no, I think I need something else. So over time, because you start with a vision, it's easy to get even above that vision. Even if you don't get to the vision, get higher, closer to the vision, than when you go through a training program with no future, no foresight. So I think let's hear from someone else.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Serial number.
This is a Pilot Gospel, serial number 35.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to share more a brief insight on what I learned on the slides, some of the slides I watched. Uh, First of all, I want to start with the threats to cyber crimes that happened between the Russia and the Ukraine, and how possible was that? How was that being able to be achieved? And the defense mechanism that they were able to use to defend the possible attack. So, according to the interview Mr. Andy Greenberg had, and from what he said, on how attackers were able to get access to the employer's sites, emails, and so from there, I saw that they sent a malware. They sent an email and containing malwares, and from that malwares, infected malwares, and they were able to use it to get access. Once the employer clicked on the link, they were able to steal information from the employees of the organization. So now, this is to tell us that all of us, we are vulnerable. We are all vulnerable to the attacks, online attacks, cyber crime, cyber. So we are all vulnerable to it. So how will we protect ourselves? We need to know these things, how to protect ourselves. Another thing is that the dependency of cyber power grid on automation makes it more liable for it to be attacked, because once a system is purely 100% automated, that means you'll be using electricity for any of it transmission and anything that's being done on the system. So with that automated system, it is easy for attackers to get access to the system and then breach the system at any time. So with automation of the power grid, it's very possible for attackers to get access to the system. That is on the slide that we're asking if really attackers could get access to US power grid. It's very, very possible. From the explanation the reporter gave, it's very, very possible that it could be accessed. And the US were wary, they were very wary of how they can cope the situation should something like that should happen. Because unlike the Ukraine, the way they managed the situation was very different. because in Ukraine, the way they manage the situation was that they send out tractors, they send out people to the street and try to see how they can protect the situation in less than in hours time. But the reporter stated that if that happened in the US, it's going to take more than 3 days, more than days or weeks for them to be able to restore power back to the country, to the people. And that will bring about a massive loss to the society and the people itself. So they were wary on how to defend themselves on that aspect. So the man went about asking questions, the energy company and the Homeland Security, what is their plan? Do they have any plan should in case this kind of thing happens? So their question, they were not given direct access to interview them online, like on the TV, on the camera, but they were given some kind of written responses that to show that they had a plan. But the reporter believed that they really had not planned. There was no plan in place to portray the situation. Okay. Furthermore, I want to talk about the slide that highlights how the hijackers
able um, to infiltrate an organization and then try to steal their informations. Yeah, and what I saw from the video is that that plan did not just happen. The attack did not just happen. It was very planned. It was very detailed. They have a plan A and they also had a plan B. So their plan A started from the surveys, the environmental surveys, how they survey the environment, they walk around the street, drive around, they access where they have cameras, where they can breach easily. So from there, they now see the loopholes where they can penetrate. So they succeeded in penetrating, entered inside the organization, and then the thing is that the company, their awareness in safety was really not that stringent. They were not that stringent on safety, and the awareness on the cybersecurity was very poor too, so that the receptionist they met was about to be giving out, was almost giving out information that could have deterred the company. But due to their prolonged communication with the receptionist, someone else interfered. So from that process, they were trying to manipulate the receptionist and the other employees to get information from these people. So this tells us that from the communication we have with people and within our community and even the people we talk to online, that means we can easily expose ourselves. The links we click online, this website we visit, all of these platforms are avenues where information can be gotten from us and then could be stolen, and we could be attacked online. So if we don't have this knowledge, then we are very much vulnerable to cyber attacks. So another aspect they did was that social engineering, because everything they carried out there was social engineering in the aspect of manipulation and trying to steal information from people. Now, from what happened on that same video, the supervisor was kind of so he was not comfortable. He tried to, see them out of the company because he was, I'm looking for the right words to use. He wasn't comfortable with them. He was suspicious of them. So from there, he sent them out of the company. So when the plan A failed, they now re-strategized what next to do. So they now plan on breaking in into the place so that they can steal the information. So they were successful at the process. So that is how these things happen. And if we don't know, it's going to be a very disaster. It's going to be disaster. So this training by IGTA is an eye-opener for some of us who haven't had the idea, the experience, or any knowledge on cybersecurity, which I'm very much thankful for this opportunity to be one of the beneficiaries of this program. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for that positive insight. Yeah, thank you so much. Anyone else?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. So that I will react at the end of after everyone. Yeah. Serial
Okay.
number. Go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Serial number 25.
Go ahead.
Okay, so what I want to talk about is what I learned from the activism link that I went through. I noticed that there was a lady that said something, Karen Elazari or so. I think that's her name. So she pointed out some things that are so unique about hacking. Because as someone who want to go into ethical hacking, yeah, that's the word. Someone want to go into ethical hacking, because of the things I used to hear about people, the narrative or the way they used to portray hacking as if it's something that is very, very bad. So from that video, I was able to understand that hacking is not bad. It's actually something, is an information you need to have to beat those bad ones at their own game. So I got to understand that you need to, if you don't have the knowledge, that's when they can actually infiltrate your privacy. That's when they can cause you harm. There was something that I saw on that slide that said hackers are alien. That sometimes you have to. So sometimes you have to demo a threat to spark a solution. You have to demo a threat to spark a solution, like meaning you have to replicate that same thing they are doing, but now you have to do it in a better way than them. And then I also observed that from all the videos I was watching from the UK, Ukraine, and all of that, I noticed it was more like a cyber warfare, whereby each country are just trying to test their ethical hacker skills, whereby this one will like say, okay, today we are going to take this portion of a country, like want to let them know that, okay, we are taking over this territory by blocking their how do I put it, their power grid, causing darkness in the whole nation. So now for them to do that, I got to understand that single act made the other nation now they had to like think outside the box so that such thing it will not happen again. And before you know what's happening, their skills are being sharpened. And the ethical hackers there, I know we have hackers that are the black hackers, the white hackers. Of course, the ones that are working with the government are the white hackers. I think that's what I noticed from my research, personal research. So those ones now are the ones now that they are fighting against all these loopholes. They are not even allowing those loopholes. It's not like those loopholes won't happen. Of course they will happen, but there are people that are there to protect those data from those threat actors. I don't know if I'm making sense.
We are learning
Hello,
from
sir.
you. We are learning from you. Right on.
Okay.
Tutor
I
of
don't know if I'm
this.
making sense. So, I got to understand that those white hackers are the ones that block those accesses. And from the videos I watched, I noticed that it's not actually easy for these threat actors to carry out their operation. Why did I say that? Because one, they are going to look out for your vulnerabilities, where there are loopholes, where you have missed it. Those are the little mistakes. That is what they are looking out for. And that is where cybersecurity comes in. Those people that we now that we are here like to protect against those loopholes. So that's just what I understand, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Chisom and the previous speaker. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we have learned a lot from you, massively a lot from you. You know, when you let me just talk on the two before both of you spoke very well. I think it's very educative. And now you people use the terminologies, you use the words, you guys might not put them in the right place since you're asking if you're right. But I would say for now you are okayly right. But over time you come to understand those terminologies. And the beauty of it is you are knowing them now because you talk of vulnerability. Those are some of the terminologies you will be doing more with when you are doing cybersecurity management, because cybersecurity management is all about what checking for vulnerability assessment, doing vulnerability assessment, checking for loopholes, checking for weaknesses. And something that I think one of you mentioned that I also want to correct is that it is not you cannot 100% say you are safe in the digital world, in the cyberspace. You just have to stay active, stay up on your game, because every day new mechanisms, new methods. I was speaking with a friend who is in UK. I think that was over the weekend. We were speaking on Sunday. So there is their company produce all these digital cards, and I can tell you that there are digital cards now that they don't just putting them close to your phone, they can pick up sensitive information from your phone. Now, what you have in the market is digital cards that when you meet me on the road, you say, oh, please, can I know you, sir? Please, I need your number. I just only have to remove my digital card and ask you, please, where is your phone? If I swipe the phone or show the phone around anywhere at the back of your phone that captures the electromagnetic sensors, it will just preview every information about me that I want you to have, including my number, my email, whatever I want to give. But anyway, this is not the session to start telling you that do those things, but it's to tell you that we just have to stay up and doing. That is why two-factor authentications are also very important. Because why do you have two-factor authentications? That is because you already know. Why do you think WhatsApp puts it? It's because they know that there is always going to be a way that somebody somewhere will be able to pass through the security protocols. So that is just a system that is put in place to say, oh, what if somebody mistakenly or successfully, I think I used two words, mistakenly or successfully pass through the security protocols. You might have thought, oh, you did the best, and nobody can pass through the security protocols. So how do you do it? That's where you have what we call, well, that is where you have what we call, that's where you have what we call, that's where you have what we call, or say you have to be up and doing in your game, because you can't 100% see. Okay, let me show this so that I will say what I wanted to say. That's where you have what we now cybersecurity experts do, which is a little bit different. Now you have a system. This was one of the things I think I don't know if I demonstrated this with you guys during one of the sessions we had, but now in the field of cybersecurity, you don't just focus on the two-factor authentication, but now what if somebody successfully now breaks in through the security code you have put, bypass the factor authentication, and then picks out sensitive information? So this is now, you also try to look at ways that you can be able to retrieve stolen informations on transit from the point which they have been stolen. So you can hack my device, you get information, but when it comes to your end, it's an encrypted information. That means in my end, it was open. You have the information open and open source information, but when it came to you, it was encrypted. So it's all these are possibilities. So you see, like some of these key information, abbreviations that you must know in cybersecurity, you get to know more of them over time. You see, like the DDoS, one of you spoke about, and you have many of them, IDS, intrusion detection systems. Those are systems that will, so anyway, we're not here to talk about terminology, so define terms. Over time, we will get through processes that will put you through those things. So that is one thing. And you also talk about hacking, that I don't know how you put it, but I know you put it as a student, which is fine by me. So let me make it to be more matured, like not like a student, but like a professional. Hacking is an illegal activity. It's a criminal activity. But in cybersecurity, there is an aspect of hacking that is not criminalized. That is what we call ethical hacking or penetration testers. So if you're an ethical hacker, if you're a penetration tester, it doesn't mean you just go, you are an individual go around hacking people's sites or hacking people's information or resources. Ethical penetration testers, before they carry on any activity, they have to get an authorization from the individual that, okay, please, we want to checkmate the vulnerability. You see, one of you used those words, which is good. I love the fact that you guys are already coming up. So I want to checkmate the vulnerability of your system. Please, can you permit us to hack it? So the person will now give you an approval, and then you will now do your experiment. If you successfully hack it, you will now show them, okay, this was the weakness, this was the weak point I saw in your system. And the reason why you look for those vulnerabilities and weaknesses is so that you can devise means to patch up those vulnerabilities to safeguard them if the real threat comes. So that's just basically the job ethical hackers do. And somehow, some of you can become, why not even penetration testers? Ethical hackers and penetration testers, they do the same thing. Because penetration testers, they just come to test how easy or how difficult it is people can navigate through your system. They do the same thing. So that's an excellent one from the both of you. I think we are all learning. Or are we not learning?
We are, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Learning, sir. We are learning seriously.
Okay. So it's already 10 p.m. It's already 10 p.m. We'll hear from one more person. Then any other person who has not yet come up, those are the people we'll be hearing from on Saturday. So who else is coming up? Who else is coming up?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Go ahead. Serial number and go ahead.
Serial number 5. Actually, I've just started. I've not watched too much. I'm still on track, but just the few videos I watched, I was only shocked that the hackers could actually be targeting the power grid, not even the system now, because that is actually, I never knew that even the power grid is mostly digitalized in the developed country. And I think that is actually what I can really say I learned from the few ones I watched. I don't know if that is also applicable in Nigeria, because the way I often see the videos of the Nigerian one, I never know it will be digitalized. Talkers of the hackers making it a target. And I think that is just the major thing I learned from the few videos I watched.
Sir, can I throw light on something there, sir? This in Isaac, number 11.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, there's something, the clarification in the video there. In Nigeria, we may not yet have gone that far. Why most of them are doing that is it makes it easier for them to share power. There are times that they have low power consumption in one area and they have excess power in one area. They can easily move the power across because they can easily move the grid can be synchronized together to work, and then they can easily move power. When they synchronize the grid like that, they use system and to make them connect because they are not physical, but they may not be together physically. Now, for the signal to either shut down or to come on, they have to communicate. That's the area of Internet of Things, IoT. They have to communicate via the internet. That's where the vulnerability may be coming in, when those guys may come in. And that's where cybersecurity is very important in that area. For Nigeria now, we don't even have enough yet, so we may not even have gotten that advanced. And of course, it's a place we have to get to. The video on the US that the team came to test, it is a smaller grid in the US, and they want to put it on. That is the smaller electric company. They are just about 50,000 customers. US is almost is over 200 million, obviously, in population. But the people they are serving is about 50,000 customers. So they want to move on onto the national grid. They want to go and try their system, whether they are okay and ready. So they brought in the what do you call it, the red team security to come and test their system. And that's why they came in to go and test their system. So the application in fact, based on IoT, Internet of Things, almost everything is going online very soon. And that underscores the importance of cybersecurity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much to both you and the person who spoke. Please try to catch up more, because if you don't catch up more, you'll be left back for the person who searches started just today. So I've provided this PDF with these resources in your platform. It's very important you also learn this. It has to do with humanities and social sciences. You might think the information is not useful, but someday you'll see the information. You go through exploring global geography of cybercrime and the forces that drive it. The resources is well endowed. It's a 10-page resource, and it would push you through where you have a direct effect, when you have an indirect effect from cybercrime, how cybercrime is related to social, economic, political, technological, as well as to cybersecurity. You see these chains, these informations, you have all of it, and then you see the scope that is also given in terms of global distribution. So you get all of these. It's a robust material for you all to consume. I've dropped it in your platform. So to round up today's session, I will tell you that yes, so that we can learn positively and rightly. The truth is, yes, Nigeria's power grid can be hacked and it can be compromised. Don't forget that even though Nigeria's power grid is not fully modernized, to the point where it can create cyber security risks rather than making it completely secure, I can tell you for sure that there are many systems in the Nigerian system that are already digitized. What is digitalization? Sometimes you sit in your house, you say, it seems when there is no NEPA, you say, it seems like that person has pressed the button, off the button. That's what digitization is. It's the button. It's just that digitalization is removing from the point where instead of pressing a manual button, you just have to click on it on an icon on your laptop, or maybe in a control room. So, but most organizations in Nigeria that deals with those, they are using control rooms where most of those things are digitized. But I can tell you for sure that currently Nigeria is actually already modernizing their power grid. And that includes even rolling out digital monitoring systems. Nigeria from the past, they were using what we call, I think, SCADA, SCADA something, supervisory control, and that was what they were using. But I can tell you that they are already making advance, because I think I don't know when, but I know about some years back they have rolled out that system, because that's why you now have smart meters. I think there are some of you in your homes You just have to use card, you put whatever you want to put your unit, you get usage of electricity. That's already telling you that the system is already digitalized. It might not be everybody, but majority of some individuals, and there are some sectors in the grid that have been digitalized. And I can tell you for free that cybersecurity for infrastructure in Nigeria is not security is not yet strong or well resourced. It's just that maybe the people who have the technology to want to hack it don't think Nigeria is worthy of it. If you come and hack the power grid in Nigeria, what do you want to gain from it? What will you gain from it? You will gain nothing. You will even, because it's a sophisticated technology. Why will you come and hack the power grid of Nigeria to gain what? Because every Nigerian has a generator is in his house. I use a solar in my house. I'm using 6 kVA. So whether there is NEPA light or there is no light, I won't even notice it. Because there are days that I pray, please let them take the light so that I can use the solar I've paid for. Not because that's how the design is supposed to be, but because the nation I'm staying in has made me in a way that I've learned to stay without it. So you guys get what I'm saying. So there are some Nigerians who have bought fuel and filled their generators. They are praying, please NEPA take light, let us on generator. Can somebody say you're hearing me? So for Nigeria as a case study, it will not be a good case study if you are using it for a case study. Sorry that I'm saying something the way I'm saying them, but I'm trying as much as possible to be as honest as it is on the subject matter so that you all can better learn. Because I can tell you for sure that if you hack the power grid in Nigeria, nobody will notice it. The reason why power grids in those nations is well noticed is very important is because these are nations that have some of them have stayed for 10 years, 5 years, 11 years, 20 years without discovering that they can take light that before bringing it back. So their system is entirely dependent on electricity, both for warming their house, both for power generation, both for water pumping, both for whether it is cooling or for heating. So they have a standardized temperature whereby there is a system in the house. Like if you go to US, there's a system in the house when it is cold, there are designs to make the house warm. There are systems that when the house is warm, it is designed to maintain an average room temperature. Okay, I think about some about the exact some month 2 months or 3 months back, I was in Vita Sport Limited in Nigerian Limited Incorporation Limited, in their head office in Lagos. I had a training with their staffs. I don't know if I had any videos from there, but I had a lot of videos from there, but because I had a lot of videos from there, but majority of some of the things they are doing there is they're also designing things within the Nigerian sector whereby you can put in your house to maintain the temperature, whereby no matter whether they take lights or not, people are paying for it. A lot. People are paying hugely for it. I saw a lot of commands that were being made. So people are paying hugely for those things. But those are our own local ways to live like those people there. But those people, they have systems that can maintain their temperatures. But I don't think we have that yet. So if you have to, if I wanted to have to share a video of it with you guys, but I don't want to deviate you people from the cybersecurity training here because if we go there, we'll go off topic a bit. So, but what I'm informing you guys is the fact that a lot is changing. A lot is changing, but we are not changing as a nation. A lot is changing, but as a nation, we are not changing. We are more vulnerable to hack into. There are many. If they want to get into Nigeria, I don't think it will take us anything. That is why we need more sophisticated hands. Because we are not designing a system that needs protection. Rather, we are designing a system that is free for attacks. I can tell you for free, because you have to first of all curb the physical threat before you now start thinking of the digital threat, because the digital threat is more sophisticated than the physical threat. You can easily track you can easily know, oh, this is where the attack was carried out. Then you set up a perimeter, you barricade everywhere, and then you say, okay, let's round truth from.
Hello, sir, we can't hear you.
Sorry for that. I had a call that came in and I had to pick the call. So that is how the world is changing. And the reason why we have more opportunity in Nigeria is because we don't yet know we need these things. But the truth is, like I always try to, it's just that sometimes you can't force knowledge into people. The truth is, most times, many of us who do training programs, we just do it because we need money, we need to work, we need to make all the money. We're not doing it because, oh, I've seen a problem in my country that I want to solve. If that is the angle from which you do programs like this, I can tell you for free that you will be the one that will become a hero at the end of the day. You must start from a point of trying to solve a problem, not from a point of looking for jobs, or not from a point of making money out of it, because it will deviate your focus. There are many areas you can get money, but if you see this as maybe your pet project, you always fancy it and cherish it. So for Nigeria, it's possible to hack whatever we have at the moment. But I don't think those sophisticated technology, anyone will have any reason to want to hack our power grid, because people will not even know the power grid was hacked. So thank you very much, and try as much as possible. I think I will inform the administrators to share the link for those who have done their code of conduct to sign it. Take note that those who upload their code of conduct, as from Saturday, before our next class, you will start getting enrollment details. Because it is your first course, the ICT fundamentals will not be the ones to enroll. You will send the link and the guidelines how to register and on how to onboard yourself, so that you can put your names up in the order, which one is first name, which one is second name, which one is last name. And then you use your official email. Because after then, when we're onboarding you into any of the further courses, if you make mistake, take note, any mistake you make, we're trying as much as possible to ensure that you don't have mistakes on your certificate. So any mistake you make, that is what you will get on your certifications when you are done with each program. So please try to take note of that as the program becomes more interesting over the day. I think it's going to be more work from each and every one of you all. So I think it was a pleasure listening to you all. You guys really amazed me. I really learned a lot. And I really thank you people so much for sharing your knowledge. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Is there anyone who has anything to say before we end today's session? Anyone?
Sir, yeah, I have something to say, sir.
Okay, go ahead. What was that?
I'm serial number 9.
Yeah.
I want to seriously appreciate you for coming up to assist most of us who are from a humble background. I don't think if it were normal learning, maybe from university and what have you, that will be able to pay for bringing it to our doorstep free. I want to say that God will continue to enhance you so that God will give you more wisdom to open more doors for the less privileged. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to hear from you. Jeffrey, your name is showing that you have not registered. Let me just, since you have been speaking nicely, let me just give you the secret. Please try to register before Saturday because you will complicate issues for yourself more. I would really like you to go through this program without any complications. So try to complete the necessary registration process, share the screenshot so that the administrator should attend to you. They might be very nice, but if they turn their backs on you, you will not really be. And we don't have the powers to compel them to do their job because you didn't do your own. If you go to a university, even if you are, let me even ask this question. If you go to a university, even if you have paid acceptance fee and you don't bring the necessary documents that they ask you to submit during clearance, will you be recognized as a student?
No, sir. You're not a student. You're not a student.
So I'm happy to talk to you all. It was indeed a great pleasure. And see you all again on Saturday.
Sir, please, I want to ask a question, sir.
Go ahead.
Yes,
Even
sir.
though it's late, so I'm leaving you to Saturday. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir.
Just go ahead with your question. Let me just get it because.
All right. So the question I want to ask, sir, is about the completion of the registration. Because
I don't do registration. I'm not. It's the administrative desk and the secretariat desk that handle that, not me.
No, I understand, sir. Like you said, the person that just
anything I give you here is tips. So all you can do is go and settle your scores with them. If they tell you do this, please just do it for your own good.
Okay. Sorry, but reason why I'm saying is because
I can't respond to you on that. Thank you.
Okay. All right. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Bye-bye, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
The world is changing fast every day. New skills, new dreams are paving the way. The future belongs to minds that grow. With learning and courage, we'll steal the show. At Inside Global, we light the flame, training the hearts that will change the game. From Africa to the world, we say, your growth begins with IGTA. Rise with knowledge, stand up tall. Professional growth is the key for all. In this new world where futures are made, stay skilled, stay strong, don't fade away. Oh, our time, we lead the way, in tongue and dreams, every single day. Short courses shaping the modern mind, creating the leaders our times will find. Technology, business, and energy too. IGTA builds the best in you.
No limit to learning, no wall too high. With purpose and focus, we reach the sky. Tomorrow's success begins today, when you choose to train the IGTA way.
Yeah, the world's workforce is changing its face. Skills and knowledge now set the pace. Innovation, passion, and dreams combine. Professional growth makes your future shine. All right. Professional growth is the key for all. Train today, lead the way. IGTA guides your brighter day. Inside Global, we proudly say the future is built the IGTA way.
Empower your mind, transform your future. The world rewards those who learn and grow.
Inside Global Training Academy,
Building professionals for a global tomorrow.